Hello and welcome back to the Spirit of Creating, part 6 and the final part of the series of Uncovering Your Creative Confidence. The journal guide that accompanies the series is available through the link provided, and in today's episode we're looking at imagining new futures. So now we're going to play a game of pure imagination, and I want you to sit in a quiet place, either seated comfortably or lying down. Close your eyes and take 4 breaths in, hold for 4, breathe out your mouth for 4, and again hold for 4. Do this several times until you're feeling relaxed. And you can do this in your own time because it's pre-recorded, so you can play it again and again. I want you to imagine yourself full of the creative confidence that you want. Exactly the type of confidence that you want, so that you are totally free to create what you desire. I want you to look around at what actions you'd be taking, how you'd be showing up, how are you feeling, how are you speaking, in what ways are you creating, who is with you, where are you, and what are you doing. So in this visualization, I want you to paint a full picture. Include as many of your senses into the mix as possible. Can you imagine the sights, sounds, smells, feelings, and emotions that are occurring? Spend as much time in this space as you like. And when you are ready, open your eyes. And I want you to write down whatever showed up for you during that visualization. Put down all the elements that highlighted how you were behaving due to the sense of the creative confidence that you were embodying. When you've completed writing out any of the descriptions related to the visualization, I also want you to write out where you currently are in terms of how you genuinely feel with regards to your creative confidence, and also describe the ways you act, the ways you do or do not show up, the ways you speak, the way you feel, and the emotions that you encounter now. And then I want you to put both of those descriptions beside one another and highlight and recognize the differences. Highlight what needs to adapt from your current behavior, thoughts, and feelings to the imagined state that you were in when you were visualizing your creative, confident self. Both those sides of you exist right here, right now. The version that's experiencing a lack of confidence and the version that's conjured up in your imagination that's experiencing a healthy amount of it. You are going to practice stepping into this version of yourself several times a day, or as many times as you remember to throughout your day. Notice your habitual reactions and responses, and when you become aware of them, think about the visualized version and adapt more of that attitude and demeanor. Mimic the actions you could see yourself taking when you were imagining your creative, confident self. We step into new ideals of ourselves, firstly, through imagining that other versions exist and are possible. And when we can see ourselves carrying out activities with creative confidence, all we're doing is giving ourselves visual clues about how it could possibly look, sound, and feel, and then we have something to work with. Deep down, we know how we would like to behave and what we want to create, but we can't imagine it of ourselves. And this exercise gives us an insight into what it would look like and how we can see ourselves in our mind's eye, behaving and creating in the ways we wish to. It's a great way of using daydreaming and imagining in our favor. It's through using our imaginations in a negative fashion and imagining the worst that we've got used to connecting ourselves with the belief that we are lacking in confidence, when really we are just using the wrong visual imaging software. You may need to suspend your beliefs for the duration of the visualization, but it's all for the good, and it's a relaxing and calm way to begin to look at all the ways that creative confidence looks and feels to you personally. So now I want you to pick a project, and we're going to get really practical. Nothing big. We're going to go for the lowest hanging fruit, but what's something that you've wanted to do for a while and not got round to? It could be wanting to write a poem or just to start painting again. It could be recording your first time lapse of a piece of art you're creating, or wanting to write a blog post. Choose something that you know deep down you really want to create and express, And it's because you don't feel creatively confident enough that you've not begun. And now I want you to take the project apart, dissect it into the tiniest of pieces in the order they would need to be executed. So for me, for example, I could have a goal of, I want to create a new collection. And my breakdown is research themes and color palettes, what mediums I'm going to want to use, go and buy some paper and some inks, begin experimenting in sketchbooks and playing with color and form. I want to decide how many pieces will form the collection. I want to get really practical and just prep the paper ready to begin. I'm going to set out and decide what times and days I will set aside to create those paintings. I will create a color palette, and then I will start painting. And I will continue the paintings until the collection is complete with an approximate time frame, which has some flexibility. And once they're completed, I will scan all the paintings and dry them and varnish them. Well, I'll dry and varnish them before I scan them, but that's generally the order I'll be doing things in. All these steps within them have mini steps, but this presents our minds with an overall path to follow. Now I want you to imagine carrying out that first step. I want you to close your eyes, relax, breathe deeply, and imagine yourself carrying out your first step on this project. Project yourself into the future and see yourself taking all the steps on your project list. By imagining yourself, you have already signaled within your body what it could look and feel like to you if you were carrying out these actions. And then the next step will be to do just that. I want you to bear in mind that as you move through this process, you will feel uncomfortable on many occasions. Your mind and body may not feel safe. It may feel unsure, and you'll want to retreat to your default settings. And I want you to know there's nothing that's gone wrong. You are completely okay. It's just your brain's way of trying to keep you away from danger and the unknown. Once you're aware of this, you can allow feelings of unease to be present and not need to react to them or obey them. You can let them be there without needing to get rid of them before you can begin your creative adventures. You understand why they're there, but you also know that you are not in any danger and there is no threat present, just a change occurring. Ultimately, each time you feel discomfort and continue to move in your desired direction, the more signals you are sending to your brain that you are safe and nothing bad is happening. This is where you get to show up for yourself in a kind and supportive manner, showing yourself compassion and offering the type of grace and acceptance that you do with those that you love. And let's do some journaling prompts. This is an exercise in predicting some of the objections that you may encounter from your inner critic. If you list them out beforehand, you'll be more aware of them when they show up, and then you can have a plan of action when they appear. It's kind of like planning for an unwelcome guest, deciding how you will communicate with them, how long they can stay, and how you will treat them while they're in your presence. So list out all the objections you've experienced in the past when trying out new creative projects. Make a thorough list of thought obstacles that are likely to appear as you begin a new creative project and try a new adventure creatively. Now, offer yourself a plan of action to counteract them when they show up, because they will show up. And it can be simple as having a mantra you create for yourself that you repeat when those thoughts appear. Or it can be a decision made beforehand where you, for example, decide to write out all the thoughts that have appeared, write out all the scary ideas that are coming up, scary negative iterations, put them on slips of paper and place them in a jar. You've taken the time to acknowledge their presence and you've listened to what they're saying, and now you are shelving them. You can then make the choice to get back to your creative adventures and your explorations. I'm really hoping that you've come to realize that all the creative confidence you would ever require for a lifetime is within you and cannot be taken away or reduced. It's there alongside all your inspirations and ideas. And I truly believe that any idea we have to create something in this world also comes with all the ingredients within us to be able to take action and manifest it. I would love you to form a connection with your own creative confidence and know that's always there and may show up in many ways. Just because something may feel uncomfortable or even scary to us when it comes to our creative endeavors, it does not mean our confidence has abandoned us. It may just be showing up as a silent nudge to move forward, even when we don't feel ready. Take all that you've learned and discovered about yourself through the journal prompts and get to know your own creative confidence and how it works with you. And take your inspiration and give them wings. Let your creativity flourish and remain uninhibited. Show up for yourself, show up for your art, and know that all you need is to be found within you, and it already exists. I hope you found this series helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts and findings that you discovered through your journaling. Let me know either by sending me a DM on Instagram or emailing me at illustratingrain@gmail.com.